the record with 6 Worthington Cups. In a division below, Sheffield United haven't won a trophy since 1936. United held the upper hand after taking the first leg 2-1, but the Reds wasted little time getting back on level terms with a goal just 9 minutes in.
And it's Diouf, and this time it is in. And Sheffield United's lead from the first leg has been swiftly erased.
El Hadj Diouf was denied a second not long after.
Diouf off the crossbar, almost his second.
Sheffield was struggling, and even though Aussie Shaun Murphy and his teammates were prepared to spill blood for the cause, their only real chance came 10 minutes from half-time.
Stayed on his line. It was only just wide then from Jagielka.
At the start of the second half, it was Sheffield's turn to hit the woodwork, but after that, Liverpool took control and launched a bombing raid on United's goal. It rained shots, but not one could find the back of the net. The semi finished 1-0 to Liverpool, but with the goal aggregate level at 2-2, it went into extra time and up stepped Michael Owen. His second attempt at the 107-minute mark sealed Liverpool's trip to Cardiff for the final.
Slotted on for Owen, surely this time, Michael Owen! And that, you would think, would have to be it.
Of course, there was high drama in the aftermath to that win. Outspoken Sheffield manager Neil Warnock accusing Liverpool defender Stefan Honcho of spitting at him, forcing the FA to look at the video. Well, all that left Blackburn and Manchester United to fight for the other spot. It was locked at 1-1 after the Old Trafford clash. They went back to Ewood Park, where United was trying to secure its first Worthington final since a 3-1 loss to Villa in '94. Rovers, of course, were the holders.
After a 1-1 draw with Manchester United at Old Trafford, Blackburn Rovers had a realistic chance of reaching the final for the second year in a row. Prior to the game, former Man U striker Andy Cole insisted Rovers were fired up for the challenge, and a neat lob early in the first half proved his point.
Clipped in by Andy Cole against his old club. What a moment for him to savour on 12 minutes.
United, though, had the better of possession, and in the 30th minute, Paul Scholes found the inevitable equaliser.
Now there's danger. Scholes! It's in! They are back on level terms just before the half hour, and it's a goal they have been threatening.
Replays, though, revealed Scholes was fortunate to have the goal stand. Nevertheless, it sparked a period of domination for the visitors, and Scholes was perfectly placed for his 7th goal in 6 games.
Now can he pick out one of them? He can. It's Scholes. It's 2. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
In the second half, only some superb keeping from Brad Friedel prevented Ryan Giggs making it 3, and Rovers were then lucky not to be penalised after David Beckham appeared to be brought down by David Thompson in the area. Blackburn then looked to make the most of the reprieve.
What a save from Bartes!
Friedel, though, was the man put under most pressure in front of goal, and the relentless onslaught eventually took its toll.
Brought down surely by Friedel.
The penalty was awarded, and although the American keeper only escaped with a yellow card, he was unable to stop Ruud van Nistelrooy's penalty.
Friedel almost got there, almost kept it out.
A 3-1 win enough to seal United a place in the Worthington Cup final for the first time since 1994.
So there it is, Michael Owen's extra time goal sealing the win. The players in the tunnel for the Worthington Cup final, the first big trophy of the season. Liverpool against Manchester United. And for all confirmation of team lineups, let's get across there now to our match caller, Peter Brackley.
South Wales, old adversaries of course here now. Gerard Houllier, how good it is to see him fit and well again. And Sir Alex Ferguson. Sir Alex Ferguson with an astonishing array of 21 trophies culled over the past 13 years. And Gerard Houllier, who will ever forget the 5 trophies that Liverpool accumulated the season before last. Here they are. It's Liverpool versus Manchester United, the Worthington Cup final for 2003. Welcome to Cardiff. A study in concentration. The England captain, David Beckham. Ruud van Nistelrooy. He's played here once before against Liverpool in the Community Shield. He was a scorer that day, but Liverpool won. And Michael Owen has a habit of getting goals here.
You mentioned David Beckham's study of concentration there. When we look at in the tunnel there before they walked out, all 22 players you could see were so focused on the job ahead they've got to do out here. They know that they've got to be at their best if they want to beat the opposition, as simple as that. And each one of them has got that studied concentration that they're going to need to actually win this game here this afternoon.
They both come here on the back of excellent results in midweek. Liverpool defeating Auxerre from France in the UEFA Cup to go through to the quarter-finals of that competition. In Manchester United, I was privy to seeing them win in Turin against Juventus, a highly polished performance. To claim a 3-0 success there really was one of their most outstanding results ever.
Well, it certainly was, and you know, you look at those two results and it'll give both sides a tremendous boost. But I just feel that maybe with United playing on Tuesday of last week and Liverpool playing on Thursday, it might just be to United's advantage.
Well, the chief guest today, the Right Honourable David Blunkett MP, the Home Secretary, accompanied there, of course, by Right Honourable Sir Brian Mawhinney, the Chairman of the Football League. And first, they will be introduced to Manchester United and their captain, Roy Keane. Well, he's a big football fan, though his club is Sheffield Wednesday. Well, they did actually appear in the League Cup final against Arsenal a few years ago, but these are sad times at Sheffield Wednesday. It's a nice diversion for him today, Mr. Blunkett.
Yes, it is, because Sheffield Wednesday are in the doldrums at the moment. Another defeat for them at home yesterday. They've got big problems trying to actually stay in the division this year, and it will be a sad sight to see a big club like Sheffield Wednesday disappearing into the second division.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, what a great professional that man has been. He always seems to be on the substitutes bench, but he's always likely to come up and score a goal, as he has done over 100 times. Well,
there's not many people would have the patience that he has. You know, he has a big club, but he doesn't play probably more than 20 or 25 games a season. But whenever he comes on, he has an influence on the game, and that's why he's so vital to Sir Alex Ferguson. And United are so lucky that he's patient, that he will stay there, knowing he's not going to play every week.
The officials, Paul Durkin is the referee from Portland and Dorset, his assistants Tony Green and Alan Woolmer, and fourth official there, Alan Kay, who's taking time off from his duties as a road traffic man up in West Yorkshire.
There's a lot of things we could say about those people.
Well, Mr. Blunkett particularly cheerful as he shakes hands with John Arne Riise. And it'll be a big day for El Hadj Diouf as well, the Senegalese striker, who is playing in his first major cup final in this country after his transfer from Lens during the summer, after the World Cup finals, and there he is.
Yes, actually, obviously he played in the World Cup finals, they're big enough, but he did find it difficult to settle into Liverpool's side at the start of the season. But certainly this last 6 weeks or 2 months, I think the club have been happier with him, and he's been happy with himself in terms of settling into this Liverpool side. But today will be his biggest test.
Liverpool looking to win the League Cup in its various guises for a record 7th time. This is their 9th final. That in itself is a record. It's Manchester United's 5th final, and their only win came 11 years ago against Nottingham Forest, in the days when Roy Keane was a Nottingham Forest player. Well, there are always one or two quirks of fate, and the official party now departs from the pitch, and we will shortly enjoy the national anthem, which will be led today by Lawrence Robinson. And the crowd is now being asked to stand for the national anthem. Red carpet treatment, but which Red City will be celebrating this evening. This is home from home for Liverpool. No club has been here more often. in its short tenancy of the major competitions. And Liverpool return today with Gerard Houllier in the enviable position of being able to choose from a virtually full-strength squad, as we'll see now as we have a look at the two teams. There is sympathy for the injured Chris Kirkland, of course, but hardly any worries about the appearance of Jesse Dudek in goal. The central defensive pairing of Sami Hyypiä and Stefan Ancho, as good as it gets in the Premiership. And as a first English final for Senegal's World Cup striker El Hadji Diouf on the right. Michael Owen will play with a smile on his face, I'm sure, remembering his match-winning efforts here in the FA Cup final of 2001.
Well, you look at Liverpool's setup, I think really this is probably Liverpool's strongest side, and they don't always play this side. Gerrard does mess them around, but certainly this is their strongest side. Big influence needs to be from Herman and Gerrard in the middle of the field, certainly, and Murphy will drift off that left-hand side, I think, and try and support Heskey and Owen up the front. And as we spoke before, Diouf on the right-hand side, big game for him. Can he deliver the goods in a massive game like this?
In the build-up to the game, United have been fretting about the fitness of Ryan Giggs, of Paul Scholes, of Mikel Silvestre and Wes Brown. Surprise, surprise, they're all fit, which perhaps tells you something about the seriousness with which they've approached the Worthington Cup this season. Alongside their happiness, there'll be sorrow for the likes of Nicky Butt and John O'Shea in particular. There, though, on the substitutes bench, along with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Phil Neville.
Well, again, for me, this is Man United's strongest team. And obviously Roy Keane moves back into the middle of midfield with Wes Brown being fit again. He's done a massive job for United in there. He'll sit there, he'll let Veron, Giggs and Beckham break from the middle of the field, and Scholes, he will drift around Van Nistelrooy and also create chances for himself and Van Nistelrooy.
Thanks, Ray. What a spectacle it is. Liverpool in all red, Manchester United in all white. Two of the most famous clubs in English football, without doubt, as they have always been. Over 1.2 million people have passed through the turnstiles during the course of this Worthington Cup campaign, and here we are at the final gate of opportunity. And it's Liverpool to get the match underway, with Risa clobbering the ball up into the opposition half, where there was a first touch for Rio Ferdinand, believing himself playing in his first major final. His last was the 1996 FA Youth Cup final. A bit different.
It's amazing, yeah, but you look down there on the pitch and there's so much talent, there's so much ability on both sides, and it's been built up to be such a massive game, and it is. And you just hope the players can perform to the ability that they've got, and sometimes these games can be an anticlimax, but it's got all the makings for a fantastic game.
Liverpool will obviously try and utilise the pace of Michael Owen. He wasn't able to latch onto that ball, and so it's United with Juan Veron, a superb Argentinian playmaker. Little touch from Giggs. Silvestre able to re-find him. There's no doubt about it, one or two of these Manchester players are playing with niggles though. Silvestre's had an ankle injury, Giggs the hamstring problem. Now Roy Keane, he played of course at centre-back in Turin during the week. Brown, what a cultured player he is, but it will spin away here, and Mr. Durkin will signify a free kick against Emil Heskey.
Yes, I think it was a strong challenge from Emily. He's not a dirty player by any stretch of the imagination, but he's a big strong boy, and he did go in the back of Veron. Nothing malicious, but certainly as you see here, his left leg comes through and takes Veron after he'd tackled with his right leg.
Silvestre to cut inside El Hadji Diouf. Just done well. The one thing I've noticed about El Hadji Diouf in recent weeks is his willingness to work back. He's got a real appetite for the game.
Well, he's going to have to do that, because certainly if he forgets about his task at any time that he has to drag himself back there, then certainly Silvestre and Giggs will get 2-on-1 against Carragher, and it will be a problem for Liverpool. But Diouf has got to stay switched on, and has got to remember the defensive side as well as the attacking side that he's got.
How many times has he played down the flanks there with Gary Neville? Now Veron, decent ball in for Van Nistelrooy. It'll come back for Veron here. A couple of little challenges. Gerrard was critical in there for Liverpool. We'll work it away with Diouf. So often happens that a player comes from abroad with a big reputation and finds it hard to settle in the first season.
Well, certainly, because the English Premiership is so different from any other league in the world. As simple as that. It's faster, it's more passionate. The tackles, I think, are quite fierce. And foreign players coming into this country, certainly African players, I think, they do find it difficult. But slowly but surely, Juve is getting used to it.
And he's involved ahead of Gerrard here now. Heskey initially, though, and then a drilled effort from Danny Murphy, which poleaxes Gary Neville. Well, you felt the full force of this one.
Well, Gary doesn't lay down for nothing, that's a certainty, and we know how fierce Murphy can hit the ball. Gary Neville stood off him, allowed him the opportunity to hit it. Full force, left foot, and that's like being in the heavyweight ring, I think, by a heavyweight boxer, and he's down for the compulsory 8 count, I think.
Didn't improve his looks, did it? There we go. He's all right. He's taking the eye check. Danny Murphy, of course, embarrassed the Auxerre goalkeeper the other night with a pretty good hit from 30 yards. But Monsieur Cool, the goalkeeper, was not so cool. The Auxerre keeper went it through.
Yeah, I personally think it wasn't that well hit. I think it was just a poor goalkeeping error, unfortunately, for Mr. Cool. But Danny Murphy's capable of those situations, and certainly in the early part of the game, not afraid to try his luck. And certainly it's another part of Liverpool's armoury that they've got Murphy that can deliver balls like that, and also from set plays.
Long ball in here for Michael Owen. He doesn't get to it, but as Brown heads it down, it drops to Juff. Sylvester's really come of age in a way this season. He had his doubters, his critics about his defensive capabilities, but he's picked as regularly as anybody by Sir Alex Ferguson.
Well, I think originally he had in his mind he wanted to play as a centre-back. That's where he felt his strength was. But slowly but surely, Sir Alex has convinced him that left full-back's his position, and he has been one of their strongest players this year.
And if Fergie says that's where you play, that's where you play.
Yes, I think so.
Dudek, I know you'll be sympathetic towards Chris Kirkland, Ray, who picked up that injury a few weeks ago, which has deprived him of a chance today.
Yes, Dudek's been outstanding since he came back into the side, certainly. But you do feel for Chris Kirkland, because he's been very patient up at Liverpool to wait for his opportunity. Dudek had an indifferent spell. Kirkland got in and was playing very, very well, and it would have been very difficult for Dudek to get back into the side. But as happens in football, an injury gives him the chance again, and he's come back to the form he was of last season.
Cagey start. They're on here. Always comes back looking for the ball. Tries to instigate Raid with it's a 50-yard pass, but it's just presented a goal kick to the opposition.
Well, that's what he loves to do, doesn't he? You say he likes to get it deep, and he's capable of playing those 40 and 50-yard balls and putting Van Nistelrooy in, putting Beckham in, putting Giggs in. So, but Roy Keane's just had a word with him, I think, and said, listen, Bradlow, do not try and push it and force it too early in the game. Let's keep possession of that ball, get control, then you can try your glory balls.
Good shot that, wasn't it? And it to a ticking off, I think, from the captain. Murphy manages to wrestle the ball away from Beckham. Then Gerrard, he's likewise the wrong with the longer passing style in the Liverpool camp. Now King. Plays it 1-2 off the referee. That's a novelty. There's always been a desire about Manchester United, and the fact they've only won the Worthington Cup once will increase that desire, I'm sure. They're on range again, Wayward.
Yes, obviously range is not there for him, but he will keep trying it. That's the one thing with Veron. He won't fight shy of trying the difficult ball.
Owen is surrounded by a cluster of white shirts, including Beckham, including Keane. Clipped by the ankle by the Irishman. It will be in Michael Owen's mind that when he came here with Liverpool for that FA Cup final with Arsenal, he turned out to be the match-winning hero of the day. He said it was probably the greatest occasion, even greater than scoring for England, winning the FA Cup for Liverpool.
That's always praise on people's minds.
Murphy's ball, out of his catch. And we're going to have another stoppage now, because Fabian Barthez has taken a bang to the head from Emil Heskey. A very disruptive start to the match.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was Emil there. I think actually it's when he falls here. He falls awkwardly and catches Heskey's boot. You know, Heskey didn't mean that. He couldn't have known anything about it. It's a brave catch from Fabian Barthez. Only watches the ball, but because he's coming down head first, there's no way he can protect himself from Heskey's boot at the bottom of the fall.
Not the biggest, but he is an athlete, and he inspires confidence, does Barthez, simply because of his almost arrogance, if you like, in the way he keeps goal.
Well, he has a tremendous confidence in his own ability, and you know, he is probably one of the most agile goalkeepers in the world today, and certainly you know, Roy Carroll there warming up, the former Wigan goalkeeper. I'm sure he's hoping he doesn't have to come on this early in the game, and I'm sure that Barthez will be okay, but Sir Alex sending Roy Carroll out just make sure there isn't a problem.
Roy Carroll has played in 2 of the matches in the run here, against Leicester City and against Burnley. The game hasn't got going at all yet.
No, it hasn't. It hasn't settled out. The good thing for me at the moment is sometimes when these two sides meet each other, there's so much passion and feeling between them that they just get stuck into each other and there's no football played at all. But certainly they are trying to play football, but they've not quite got their range of passing going yet, and therefore opportunities are not being created.
Van Nistelrooy protected the ball well. Beckham slung it straight up in the air. Now he gets a header away. Taller than Owen, improving it. And well done by Scholes. Coming back there, nicking the ball, nicking a free kick at the same time. Now it will be Veron. Chance for him to find a better pass, and he has done to Keane. That's the sideways variety. Little touches around the edge of the Liverpool area here from Van Nistelrooy, and a goal kick. What a great record he's got over his 2 seasons in English games. 29 goals already this season, 65 goals in 88 appearances.
It's quite frightening really, because if you remember at the start of the season he actually found it difficult to score goals quite early in this season, but certainly since then he's got better and better, and Gerard Houllier chewing his nails already, but I don't think it's quite that bad just yet.
No, it's 10 minutes played. Liverpool 0, Manchester United 0 in the 43rd League Cup final. Though there have actually been 55 matches, but of course when the competition first started back in the 60s it was played on a 2-leg basis. There's been the odd replay like Liverpool Forest.
Yes, that's right, yeah. I'm just a little bit worried about Gerrard at the moment. He really is, you know, we talked about Veron forcing the ball, but Gerrard there, just 3 passes on the trot. He could have played to a comfortable pass to a red shirt. He's trying to get Michael Owen all the time, and he's nowhere near hitting Michael Owen at this present moment in time. And Liverpool, I'm sure the staff on the bench will be going mad in terms of let's get some possession of the ball, and then we might create an opportunity. Let's just keep wasting it every time we get the ball back.
He's made a solid start. Now Gerrard does have a chance to drive Liverpool forward, but Beckham spotted the danger. It doesn't get through to Owen once again. Left-footed, Barthez knocks it back over into the other half of the field. It looks a decent surface. I noticed 1 or 2 of the players when they came out looked a bit quizzically at it, Ryan Giggs in particular, but he seems to be playing all right.
Well, of course, they had the England-Wales rugby union game on here last week, didn't they? You can still see the markings from that rugby match on the pitch at the moment.
Come on, it's going to be too long.
We're just talking about the pitch there, John. I think, you know, that in past cup finals the problem's been that the top surface has come away very, very quickly, and it's been very difficult for players to stand on their feet. So far in the game, they don't seem to have had that problem.
And there's going to be a booking, the first one for Stefan Ansho here. Referee Durkin summons him like a naughty schoolboy, and the headmaster says, "I want your name, Sonny."
Well, I don't think he's got anything to argue about that. As the ball was played in, he went straight through the back of Scholes there, and there is nothing else but a booking that he could get there. But now he's put himself under pressure at an early stage in the game, 15 minutes into the game there. he's put himself under pressure that he can't. He's got to be very, very careful where his tackles come in from now on.
Beckham. And headed away by Risa to Gerrard. Neville has recovered from that blow he took from Danny Murphy's shot. And now Scholes and Van Nistelrooy. This is an opportunity for Giggs, and the first real save of the game from the man who scored twice in Turin during the week.
Yeah, some nice interplay. It's happened 2 or 3 times already between Scholes and Van Nistelrooy. Little ball round the corner to him, gets a lucky bounce there, gets it onto his unfavoured right foot and probably doesn't get as much pace on it as he would like, but hit the target and work the goalkeeper. That's the important thing.
Giggs took his 2 goals so well against Juventus the other night. The second one in particular, where the goalkeeper looked absolutely leaden-footed. It really boosted Giggs' confidence. He has 12 goals this season, and that's in a season where he's not supposed to be playing so well. Also a decent output for a wide player. Juff. Brown asking Bartes to send it flying up into the other half onto Van Nistelrooy's chest. Oh, and he's done unbelievably well here. There must be 6 red shirts around Van Nistelrooy, and he still managed to retain the possession for 4 or 5 seconds. Now it's Heskey. Nicely done by him. Danny Murphy, who's had such an outstanding season for Liverpool, finding Juff. Can he find a way beyond Silvestri here then? Elhadj Juff. And it will only be a throw-in. Never really looked as though he was going to get past him there.
No, he didn't have a trick enough to try and upset Silvestri. Silvestri knew he was going to try and get it in with his right foot. Didn't upset Silvestri, and he got a block in very, very easily there.
Risa. Well, we know he can hit them. He's 35 yards out, and he's moved onto Brown's head. Casual ball out of defence by Ferdinand the first time. It came back to him. He was lucky to get away with that. Hard to read anything into the first 15 minutes, Ray.
Well, it's what you'd expect. The 2 well-matched sides. That you know, it's going to take a spark of genius, some very good passing to open up either of these defences, certainly. And at the moment, there's been maybe 1 or 2 long passes too many, and it's been easy for the back 4s to deal with.
That was Gerrard's laser-like ball through the centre, which was well picked out by Bartes, acting as sweeper. Just because Veron dwelled on the ball a second there. Now he's got another chance to romp forward. Just beyond Scholes' reach. Away goes Murphy for Liverpool. Heskey across the centre. Owen's actually behind the front runs at the moment. Now he'll be back up there. Threaded in by Juff for Murphy. Murphy makes these excellent runs, but as he clips the ball across, there's only Gary Neville left.
Yes, that's what we talked about beforehand. Danny Murphy coming off that left-hand side of midfield and drifting across the front, got himself into a crossing position, delivered a decent ball, but unfortunately Heskey had gone to the near post and there was nobody on that far post situation.
The feeling at Anfield is Murphy has probably been their player of the season. He's been as consistent as anybody.
Yes, I think so, yes. He's played right the way across. He's played in the centre, he's played left, he's played right, and wherever he's played, he's actually done well for them, but I think he still prefers to actually play central.
0-0, Liverpool and Manchester United. Liverpool who won here 2 years ago in a penalty shootout against Birmingham City. Also winners of the League Cup in an incredible 4 consecutive seasons in the early 80s and in 1995. Jamie Carragher, genuine Scouser, to Dietmar Hamann, definitely not a Scouser. Wide for Juff, and struggles and puts it behind. Well, he's only got 2 league goals this season, and both came in the same match against Southampton, but he has got a goal or 2 in this competition, so he'll probably think, well, it might be my lucky day.
Well, let's hope so, but at the moment, obviously, he's playing in this wide right position, has not got in the box at all so far to get himself in a goal-scoring position. And as we spoke earlier, he's also got to be aware of Silvestri getting the ball and breaking forward, and also trying to protect the ball going into Giggs wide on that left-hand side.
Just to remind everybody, of course, wherever they're watching around the world, we're bound to get a winner today. Long gone are the days of replays. We could have a penalty shootout as we did in that Birmingham-Liverpool game. But whatever happens, somebody will be lifting a trophy tonight. Beckham. Giggs went the one way, Beckham passed it the other. Baron manages to skip over a just challenge. Now Beckham seems to be turning up through the centre a lot, David Beckham, right now. He's got much width at the moment.
Now, they're very difficult balls to get in behind back fours when you're in the central position, playing the ball straight down the middle of the pitch. It really does have to be a superb ball for the back four not to deal with it, or the goalkeeper not to come and pick it up. And that's what Beckham's ball was on that occasion, too much length on it.
Over the last couple of seasons, Liverpool have had the Indian side over Manchester United, done the double over them twice, but this season when they met at Anfield, it was United who won 2-1. That's a great ball from Veron, except Rees has spotted it. It looked good, it didn't turn out that way, and Ferdinand has to climb to keep the ball away from Heskey, and then shows his £30 million skills, and the referee will call a halt to proceedings because Heskey's got a bang to the head now.
Yes, again, I think the two of them, Ferdinand and Heskey, going in, both in strongly for a ball that bounced up between them. And as you can see there, Rio's just caught him with his forearm stroke elbow, but I don't think, again, no maliciousness. He's got his eye on the ball, he's not looking at where Heskey is at all, but unfortunately caught him on the side of the head. And M's not unknown to lay down when he gets a kick, so I'm sure it'll be nothing serious, but certainly he did get a bang from Rio Ferdinand with his elbow there.
He's gone blonde like one or two others, hasn't he, Rio? With what little hair he's got. In West Brown. Didn't used to happen in your days, that sort of thing, Ray, did it? You never change your hairstyle, I don't think.
No, when you look back now, we used to have all that long hair. They have short hair these days. We have that long hair, which we now look ridiculous in.
Said nothing. Yeah, the days of Terry McDermott perms are long gone, aren't they? Kevin Keegan perms. So let's get underway again. Referee Durkin fancies a little kick of the ball and nudges it through to Barthez. Referees didn't used to be encouraged to do that, but Dave Galley, the Liverpool physio, has checked on Emil Heskey, says he can return to the fray. And Owen will try and apply a little bit of pressure here, but Silvestri is across. And back comes Heskey. Just the one save made in the game so far, but now it's Scholes, always danger when he's in possession. And he's found Giggs, first time ball in! How close can you come without finding the net? The Dutchman could tell you, and that's the clearest opportunity so far, and he's unlucky.
Well, that was out of nothing, a lovely ball from Scholes down the outside. Giggs doesn't even look, just puts the ball in there, and really it's a very, very difficult chance for Van Nistelrooy, but he just managed to get his right leg on it there, and only the spin of the ball takes it wide of the post and not into the goal. But it was a marvellous effort for Van Nistelrooy, it really was.
It was. Alex Ferguson nearly had a heart attack on the touchline there when he saw that one spinning towards but outside the net. Scholes, who started it all off. Can't get away from Haman, and in fact Haman's dispossessed him, and this is an interesting one. Referee Durkin has now pulled him back. Scholes had lost a boot. I thought that the referee had laid play on there and that Haman was away, and he suddenly changed his mind.
Well, certainly he did. It was only when he saw the boot on the floor that he changed his mind. It looked like one of those tackles that you see many, many times when boots do come off, but it's not actually a foul. And certainly Paul Durkin there let the ball, Haman, go on with the ball for a good 5 or 6 yards before he saw the boot on the floor and then decided to give a free kick. And as usual, Phil Thompson is disputing it.
Nothing new there then. Afterwards with Alan Kay, the fourth official. Referee Durkin officiating with a smile on his face, as he always does.
Yeah, I think that's one thing with Paul Durkin, is that some referees are not prepared to discuss things with players and have a walk around with a serious face on all the time. But Paul Durkin certainly is a referee that players can talk to, and he is prepared to have a laugh with them and have a joke with them out there. And I think players appreciate that and respect him for that.
The number of stoppages we've had here, I think Fergie and the boys are not going to get back to Manchester before midnight at this rate. There's as much intensity on the touchline as there is on the pitch.
Well, because both managers just know what this game is all about, in terms of say not just the Worthington Cup, but it's that rivalry between Liverpool and Manchester, which has grown and grown each year.
And Sylvester will knock a ball up to the edge of the Liverpool area. Beckham attacking it. It might drop for Gary Neville, who's done well here. Got in ahead of the marker. In comes Giggs. It doesn't drop for him. Juff has to be aware. Scholes lurking at his shoulder. And Juff manages to play it off the England international. Difficult moments there for the Liverpool defence.
Yes, but Juff did well there, because so many times you see forward or midfield players getting in that situation and giving away a silly free kick and putting you under pressure. But he just stood there, made it difficult for Scholes to not turn with the ball, and eventually Scholes lost control of it.
Key. Sylvester showing too much of the ball to Juff. Concentration is such a massive factor in the game, isn't it? Every player's got a job to do. They're all having to think every single second not to make a mistake, and perhaps it takes over rather more than trying to do something a bit different.
Well, that's right. You know, Sylvester's touch was just not perfect when the ball was played into him, and that just allowed Juff the chance to close him and win the ball. And also in the tackle, I think Sylvester's taken a little knock as well, because at this moment he's just limping slightly from that tackle with Juff.
And he does have an ankle injury anyway. He actually trained in Turin last Monday evening, expecting to be able to play against Juventus, and he hampered his progress really. Just got another little knock, which meant he missed the match over there. We've had 25 minutes in the Millennium Stadium. Not a great deal to report. Van Nistelrooy's had one little chance, half a chance, which he nearly took. But it's 0-0 between Liverpool and Manchester United, the old adversaries. Coming here in very different form. United have lost only one of their last 15 games. Liverpool have won only 6 of their last 17, which is not a good output for them.
No, and you can see again why that probably is, because Liverpool are looking quite strong at the back. They'll put one or two passes together in midfield, but once they get into the last third of the field, they're not creating anything.
There might be danger. The dazzling Giggs, except he backheels the ball, and Haman takes it and says thanks very much for that. Gerrard smashes it from one side of the field to the other. Fantastic ball to Risa. Must have travelled about 50-60 yards. Now it's Murphy. Juff turning up in the centre of the field. He's got a bit frustrated, I fancy, out wide. Barthez rather hurried into his second clearance. It's probably a better one than his first, as it happens. Carragher, the longest serving player at Liverpool nowadays. And Beckham. I don't think he's going to have enough on that, but Roy Keane was there, the enforcer. Sure, he's happy to be back in a midfield role, Keane.
Well, yes, and he doesn't stray very far away from the back four of Man United now, but he's done very well today in terms of swept up things. He's one who has kept the ball moving and kept possession for his side.
Just for Liverpool. And then Gerrard. played most of their games this season. Beckham wins it off Owen. Colleagues for England, opponents today here in Cardiff. With the prize, the first silverware of the domestic season. Keane has made a forward run, but Beckham doesn't pick him out. Now Keane's come to retrieve it. Decent ball into Van Nistelrooy, will turn, and there are 3 white shirts on Van Nistelrooy's left. That's just the quality of that final ball at the moment.
Well, it was a misunderstanding between Scholes and Giggs again there. I mean, Van Nistelrooy's ball wasn't the worst ball in the world. Scholes moved away expecting Giggs to take the ball and pass it on to Scholes, and of course Giggs didn't read the situation, so it made what wasn't the worst ball in the world into look a very poor ball.
Spoke like a pro. Liverpool haven't got going as an attacking force at all, have they? Fabian Barthez largely untroubled apart from one catch.
No, the front two tend to get isolated at the moment. You know, if Murphy doesn't come off his perch on the left-hand side and join the front two like he is doing now, then the other 3 midfield players are not getting forward to help the front two.
This is the outlet though. John Arne Riise shows it to Neville, comes in field. John Arne Riise still going, and a dribbler of a shot that will not trouble Fabian Barthez.
Now Beckham did well there with Riise, because obviously everybody knows what a fantastic left foot he's got. But Beckham would not let him get onto that left foot, forced him onto his right, and of course then we saw there isn't quite the power in the right foot that there is in the left.
Now Juan Veron. His father, of course, was an international, played for Estudiantes in Argentina and for the national side. He's found Scholes. Scholes can drive in from here. There are 2 on his right. Again Veron involved. Slowed down though, and the final effort, it was more of a pass really, I think, from Keane. It turned out to be a shot.
I think it was a pass into Beckham, but it was just too high. I mean, United are famous for knocking balls into each other with great pace, because they do believe that the players they're playing with are capable of dealing with that. But unfortunately, when Keane knocked that in, it was just too high for Beckham to be able to control it.
Heskey took it down, and now it's Murphy. Shepherded back to his goalkeeper, Frenchman to Frenchman, Silvestre to Barthez.
See, again, when Murphy broke onto the edge of the box there, he looked up and there was actually nobody breaking into the box for him to actually play the ball into.
Barthez is hurt there, he looks to be just feeling his calf muscle.
Well, he has a history of having back problems, and you just wonder with his kick in there whether he's damaged something maybe around that area. And of course he did have that hefty fall quite early in the game as well.
He did, and we've had half an hour and we haven't had a goal. We've had a lot of stoppages, quite a few free kicks, and Paul Durkin's wanting a quiet word with El-Hadj Diouf. The man they call the serial killer in footballing terms. He's scored so many goals in African football. It's a different kettle of fish playing over here. And that's not being disparaging at all to the game in Senegal, but we just say the stadiums are pretty poor there. Some of the pictures are not very good, and of course he then went to play in France with great success. The English Premiership, a bit different. Scholes here. There was danger, but it didn't get through to Van Nistelrooy. Beckham into Scholes. Giggs does well to stretch, and really testing his hamstring out there. United trying to pose a question here with Veron's ball in. And then Keane will loop it forward. Ancho in the way. I think it's largely what we expected. Neither side giving too much away. Beckham with the opportunity to breast this one down. There are 3 against 3 in the penalty area right now. He'll bide his time. Haman caught in possession by Giggs. Doesn't suffer any consequences. he'll be thinking, won't he, already? Well, he thinks every minute of a match, of course. Doesn't appear too amused at the moment.
No, he doesn't, and you look at the way United are playing, they're comfortable without playing brilliantly, and the one thing, this man who's getting the ball now, Scholesy, is getting himself into spaces in between Liverpool's midfield and their back four. And sometimes the ball hasn't reached him, and sometimes his pass hasn't come off, but certainly he's the one at the moment you look at who might be able to open up Liverpool, whereas you look at Liverpool at the moment, solid and dependable, but at the moment you don't see where they're going to get a goal from.
Paul Scholes might only need one opportunity. We all know what a great grabber of chances he is. Here he is now, but ironically the ball does run beneath his studs this time. And the becoming figure of Arnshaw just knocks it up in. There's nobody there at all, is there? Liverpool have had a lot of critics in recent weeks for their style, and they're certainly not the most exciting Liverpool side that we've ever seen. They tend to grind out results a bit more.
Well, to be fair, the year they won their 5 trophies, they probably weren't the most exciting side then. They were very, very strong defensively, gave very little away, and hit sides on the break. They got criticised for that, but they won 5 trophies doing that. Unfortunately, this year they've not been quite so tight at the back, although they're looking good on that front this afternoon. But they just can't score on the break like they used to.
Heskey, he's got all the power. Now he has found Owen. Danger here to Manchester United for the first time. It's Michael Owen. He's got the pace. On it goes. Bartes comes, and it will be a goal kick. But that's the first glimpse we've seen of the pace of Michael Owen unsettling the Manchester United defence.
But that shows what they've got to do. They're left on their own here, Heskey and Owen. You look here, when Owen breaks here, he's actually got 6 white shirts around him eventually. There's 3. Bartes comes out, there's 2 in the box. Bartes makes a good save, but Michael's had to create this for himself on his own, and that's the problem that Liverpool have.
Meanwhile, at the other end, there's a shot coming in from Paul Scholes, which does take a deflection in the opinion of the referee. He got it right at the other end, didn't he, by the way? It did come off Michael Owen, it bobbled off him, it was a goal kick at the other end.
And it was a good block from Fabian Bartes as well, kept his eye on the ball, spread himself, and gave Michael Owen very little target to aim at.
The game needs a goal. We've said that so many times over the years, and that is the instance here now, and it's Manchester United's opportunity with Beckham's corner kick. First I can remember. Giggs. Oh, clever. First time pass to Beckham. Not so clever. Doesn't take it any further. The man seemed unsure. It's almost as though he thought the whistle had gone there. He couldn't believe it.
Well, I think it was that situation again. There was nobody to play forward to. Michael Owen, he was looking for him to break forward so he could play the ball down the side. Michael Owen actually stopped and started to come back towards the man, and then there was nowhere for her man to go.
The game certainly needs something to happen, and Beckham's sent it flying across here with a flourish into the path of Silvestre. Veron was still waiting for him to open a door or two. Level to Beckham. Flicks the ball around, doesn't he, Beckham? And it's laid in higher by Neville. Back by Carragher. The boot was too high from Veron. Michael Owen has scored for the last 2 consecutive matches, of course, and that's led him to believe that he's on one of those little spurts of scoring again that he seems to favour.
Well, you could see the relief when he scored against Birmingham 2 games ago. He hadn't scored for a long time, and he showed some emotion when he scored that goal, because he knew that he got the break that he needed, and all of a sudden he scores in the next game.
Might drop here for Danny Murphy. Nice touch. Oh, lovely touches from Murphy. It sails over, but it was dexterous.
Well, it was. You know, he's capable of doing that. Actually, when he sets the chance up for himself, you've seen him a lot of times now. When he sets it up on his right foot, he actually tries to bend it to Bartes' left-hand side, and he scores a lot of goals on that side. On this occasion, he's tried to bend it to his right-hand side, and it's obviously not on target. But we've seen Murphy score a lot of goals to the goalkeeper's left-hand side from that situation.
He's had a habit of scoring critical goals against United as well in the recent seasons. A winner last year, I remember, at Old Trafford. Here goes Beckham now. His metatarsals are all right these days.
That was a good tackle from Rees, and it needed to be, because there was 3 white shirts against 3 red defenders if Beckham had got around him then.
United's throw-in though, Keane's asking for it short. The only person who seemed to be alert there was Roy Keane. He's been talking, the Irishman, about the fact he doesn't see his career extending very much longer, 2 or 3 years perhaps, but maybe not even that long. Certainly the ravages of injuries over the recent years have taken their toll. Liverpool will work it out. It's Juff, he's got Heskey alongside him. It's Elhadj Juff. He's going to have to do it all alone maybe here. And he just thumped it in against the legs of the defender, but Sylvester and Brown both matched him. Hamann will thump one in. This one comes back off Ferdinand. United survive. It's perked up a bit, and it needed to do.
Well, that was good work by Silvestri, because certainly Juve had a yard on him to start off with, was running at full pace, but somehow Silvestri got back and just put enough pressure on him to deter him from getting the shot on target.
So put up a little bit here, and Hamann continues to open it up with the ball to Murphy. He's got Owen away to his left. Risa will be in company with Owen here. Heskey's waiting across the centre. Now it's Steven Gerrard. He'll try his luck from distance. Would you believe that from Steven Gerrard?
Well, I think when you see it, there was a deflection, I think, off Beckham, which dipped it over the top of Fabian Barthez. But it's a great strike from Steven Gerrard. But I think when we see this now, you'll see that as he comes to hit it, Beckham comes out to close him down, and it's deflected off Beckham's knee, and that lifts it over the top of Fabian Barthez and gives him no chance whatsoever.
Only the second goal of his Worthington Cup career for Steven Gerrard. What a time to get it. The game had needed something, and Steven Gerrard provides it. Houllier off the bench, fists are clenched. Liverpool 1, Manchester United 0. He scored in the 4-3 victory at Aston Villa. He scored in the penalty shootout against Ipswich Town, and now he's got a goal in the final against Manchester United.
Well, Fabian Barthez, we think, have only had 2 saves to make, one at the feet of Owen, and then an unbelievable shot from Gerrard, which has gone off Beckham's knee, definitely, and that deflection was what beat Barthez, not just Gerrard's shot, I think.
I don't think Beckham will be claiming it, do you?
I don't think he'll be claiming it, and I think Gerrard certainly will be claiming it, and quite rightly.
The 4th goal of the season, Steven Gerrard. It separates these 2 sides with 5 minutes to go to half-time. Plus whatever's added, and there will be quite a bit. We've had a few stoppages. It's amazing, because until 2 or 3 minutes before that, as we see Sylvester haplessly stab the ball out, Liverpool had not had an attack, and then all of a sudden Owen got through, Danny Murphy had a try, and then a 3rd attempt in 3 minutes from Gerrard, 3rd time lucky.
Well, as you said, in the 5 minutes leading up to Gerrard's goal, all of a sudden the game started to open up, and people were running at each other in the middle of the field, and that's why we had the couple of chances we had, and why Gerrard had the opportunity to have the shot that he did.
Liverpool have won 2 of the 3 previous meetings between these clubs in the competition. United only ever beaten them once in 1990, and Liverpool have the upper hand now. When Liverpool won the FA Cup here against Arsenal, it was after going behind, and Manchester United might take solace from that. There's still plenty of time for Ferguson's side to come and deliver. Well, all the singing is coming away from to our left from the Liverpool supporters as their side moves forward again here with Owen. They've suddenly just got more people forward. And they will feed on the confidence of that goal.
Well, they will, and obviously Man United have been hit hard psychologically.
Heskey delivers here just beyond Owen. It'll be retrieved by Murphy though. Just too strong for Beckham. But there have been far more red shirts forward in the last few minutes than in the previous 40.
Well, if we were saying that Man United, having conceded the goal, all of a sudden have lost what bit of confidence they had. You know, within sort of 2 minutes of conceding the goal, we've seen 2 Man United players just pass the ball out of touch, nowhere near one of their own players.
Hoopier will come up for this. All 6'4" of him, looking to be on the end of it. And there are plenty up there, including Juff, including Hoopier. There's no whistle. It's booted away by Ferdinand. To the goal scorer Gerrard, who loops it back in the direction of Owen. Suddenly United found themselves on the rack, unaccountably. Haman for Juff. They're spreading it around now. There's a sweetness about Liverpool's delivery and movement, and it's Juff here, and he'll pull it across. Heskey was coming for it, and United are living dangerously. We've got a game on. Van Nistelrooy for United. Giggs is storming ahead of him. Here comes Ryan Giggs now, and Gerrard's the one to get back there. Giggs does brilliantly to retain possession for Manchester United. Here's Van Veron. Great save, Dudek. Paul Scholes surely up and over the crossbar amazingly from Stefan Honcho. Gets a pat on the back. Well, we've had more excitement in the last 5 minutes than in the previous 40. It seems certain that United will equalise there. Instead, all they've got's a corner.
Well, I don't think Hedgehog knew much about that, and certainly when he cleared it, but it's the least he's worried about. He managed to get it over the bar. They've now got to be strong and defend this corner for this next 2 or 3 minutes.
Driven by Beckham, away by Heskey. Ferdinand to retrieve. Giggs, who did so well in that movement, and doesn't do well in this one. It's amazing how quickly a game can change. From being quite a dull contest, really. Although we've got a bit of bother here with Keane and Rees are involved. Eyeball to eyeball.
Well, I think that is what they call handbags at 2 paces. Just pulling and pushing, nothing serious. There's a man who'll be pleased with his first half, because it's a good shot from Veron. Dudek, not the best save, knocks it back into a dangerous area. Scholes can do no more than hit the target. And then, as you can see from his reaction, he didn't know where that was going. In fact, he possibly thought it was going in his own net, but it didn't, and Liverpool survived.
Yeah, on moments like that, you thrive, don't you? You think, well, it's going to be our day, but it could have been on show own goal. This will be United's free kick. They're coming with a bit of a surge here again.
Well, the number of games we both watched, John, in terms of our goal does change a game. It needed something to open the game up. We've had the Gerrard goal, and all of a sudden, both sides are just going hammer and tong at each other.
Yeah, it's a shame the half's going to end now, isn't it? It's one of those. 45 minutes have been played. We're going to get 2 added minutes, a minimum of. Beckham's got a chance to curl this one around the 4-man wall. Well, you wondered when it was going to catch fire as a game, and then it has done. We don't need to stop now. It will be David Beckham, and he will get it over the wall, and it will warm the fingers of Jerzy Dudek, but no more than that, and a little kiss for the ball.
Yeah, sometimes those balls, you try and parry them down, and they come away from you a little bit too far, and Van Nistelrooy was there to tap it in if it had done, so Dudek just showing the appreciation to the ball.
Juff. As much as he wants to put his foot on the accelerator, and he has gone on the inside, outside. Good play from Juff. Well, he's got the beating of Silvestre there this time.
Well, Roy Keane is going absolutely bananas there at Van Nistelrooy for not dealing with that situation, because it took a marvellous tackle or clearance. But certainly what he'll be going mad at is how Silvestre turned his back on Juff there to allow him to cross that ball.
Liverpool finishing the half strongly. Rees pops her cross in here. It will drop towards Murphy. Scholes scramble it out. Van Nistelrooy's got Beckham moving in an outside left position now. Caught free kick. The next 45 minutes are as good as the last 5 or 6 have been, and we're going to enjoy the second half. Keane for United. Comes for Giggs, and then now that is Juff. Well, his game's perked up a bit. But that's half-time here at the Millennium Stadium in Cardiff. It took an awful long time for the game to get going, but then one rasping lash of the right boot of Steven Gerrard, the ball flying off David Beckham, confusing Fabian Barthez to a certain extent. The ball ended up in Manchester United's net. Stefan Armstrong then managed to clip an effort after Juan Verón had a shot over the top of his own crossbar. It's Liverpool's fans who are happier here than half-time in Cardiff, because the half-time score in the Worthington Cup final is Liverpool 1, Manchester United 0.
Man U will need just better service from David Beckham. He didn't really get into the game, and that A-grade service they're used to will need to come from Beckham.
No, I mean, United were disappointing. I thought, you know, the last 15 minutes, last 10, 15 minutes, I thought, you know, they played a bit better. They seemed to up the tempo once they went a goal down. And they've got to have that attitude and that pace and commitment straight away now from the whistle.
Well, so on we go. I'll have to say big cheerio to Ken in Brisbane. Neil, he's done something to his foot and he's up on the lounge, mate. He's been there for the last month, so big cheerio to him. All
right, an interesting 45 minutes ahead. Liverpool leading 1-0. We might have said Peter Brackley earlier, but it is John Helm, in fact, who's at the microphone. So let's go back to John in Cardiff.
There will be no substitutions on the resumption. Sir Alex Ferguson and Gerard Houllier leaving well alone for the time being. But we've got some great subs to come on. Should Liverpool choose to make switches, they can bring on Vladimir Smicer or Milan Baros, the two Czech Republic players. Jimmy Traore, the French defender, and Igor Bishkan, the Croatian. And they've got their talisman on the bench, an incredible record. This Peggy Arfexad, the French goalkeeper, has played 6 games for Liverpool and he's got 5 medals. Here comes Michael Owen, maybe to get an to get a second at the start of the half. And he just didn't appear to have the courage of his own convictions. Didn't seem to quite believe he was in that position then. Well,
Wes Brown would be disappointed in the first place. He got beat so easily, but then when Michael got free of Wes Brown, he got the ball just stuck under his feet a little bit, couldn't get it out, and therefore it gave Rio Ferdinand a chance to get back. But that was an opportunity, certainly, for Liverpool.
Lead 1-0, who defend now against Gary Neville. All the way through for Beckham against Risa. There are those who prefer to see John Arne Risa playing in a left-sided midfield role. Today he's at left full-back. But his side is a goal up, and Owen can't find a way beyond Ferdinand. Giggs into Van Nistelrooy's boot. A lay-off for Giggs, then wider into Beckham's foot as well, and a chance here for Manchester United to respond straight away. And in the area, Scholes and Silvestri were both tussling. They've said something to them at half-time to try and bolster their prospects for a victory this afternoon. And Verón here, we know he can hit a fierce shot in, but this is scuffed up in the air by Risa. Oh, well played by Risa too. And now he'll be forward. A rare opportunity for him to get forward in this match. He might just keep going here, John Arne Risa. He will keep going, and surely he'll have to bring somebody else into play ultimately. He does, that's somebody being Murphy. Heskey, and down he goes. Loud shouts from the Liverpool contingent behind the goal. No question of a penalty kick, and Heskey grimaces. Hurt. Away goes Van Nistelrooy, but it come thrust about the match now, as there has been ever since that Gerrard goal. Feelings running high. Verón for United. Neither one thing nor the other, really, that. And Keane allowed it to run through. Just manages to leave his opponent Silvestri on the ground. And the referee might ask for the ball to be put out here. Silvestri, we know, has an ankle injury anyway, and he went into a jarring tackle there with Juff, and he might have come off badly.
Well, it's always worrying from a player when they go down and they don't move, and certainly it looks as though it's a knee problem that Silvestri's got there. You know, he goes into the tackle, it's quite a heavy challenge, the two of them clash there. That's the Heskey one. That's the Heskey, which you can see Keane just gets the slightest touch, I think, from behind. It's a good turn here from Heskey. Well, he actually doesn't make contact with the ball until Heskey goes down. He might well have caught the back of his heel, and Man United can count themselves probably lucky that that was not a penalty. But at the other end of the field, obviously, Silvestri now sat there, he's getting a bit of treatment. Certainly a knee problem on the inside. That's where the ligaments are down there, and hopefully it's not jarred any of the knee ligaments. But he's getting up very, very gingerly here. You can see there they clash knees, and as soon as he goes down, he knows he's got a problem. He's holding it straight away, and it always worries me when they don't roll around and don't move. And he's not coming off the pitch too well there, so there may well be a problem that he can't overcome there.
The obvious replacement for Ferguson to consider would be John O'Shea, the excellent young Irishman. What a good young player and prospect he is.
Well, he is, and he would probably feel disappointed not actually to be in the team. There he is there, getting himself possibly ready to come on. But he's had an excellent season, and of course he's capable of playing anywhere across the back four as well, and has performed extremely well for United this year.
The game again. A reminder, it's Liverpool 1, Manchester United 0. Steven Gerrard with his 4th goal of this season, his 2nd in the competition. Murphy. Hanshaw. Something always seems to happen to Stefan Hanshaw on this ground. Here's a long ball, too far even for Owen. Just thinking about Stefan Hanshaw, a couple of years ago he gave away the last-minute penalty, which Birmingham City converted to take the game into extra time. He might have been sent off in that match, and then here today he managed to lift that ball onto the top of his own net.
Yes, incredibly. And Silvestri's come back on, so certainly he's going to try and continue. He's still running a little bit gingerly for me, but hopefully he can run it off.
Very clever there, talking of running gingerly. Here's Paul Scholes with Neville on the outside. United need a response, they need an equaliser. Scholes could provide them with it here. Beckham just didn't read his mind, and it will be a goal kick. Almost a touch too clever, that.
Well, I think Beckham thought that Scholes was actually going to strike the shot there, and because Scholes is so quick thinking, he realised when the ball is going to hit it there, and then he realises that they're going to get a block on it, and he decides to slide it down to Beckham, but Beckham hadn't read that situation.
What a great sight, isn't it, here, the Millennium Stadium, as Dudek clears. The roof is on. And it's a wonderful setting, it really is, for the major occasions in the English game. And it's an intriguing match now, too. Liverpool having got their noses in front.
Well, the good thing is, Liverpool, yes, have got themselves in front, but it appears in the early part of the second half they're not just going to sit back and say, well, we're going to win this game 1-0. They're still pushing forward, trying to get a second, and that's great for the game.
If they had a Brown, I do enjoy watching Wes Brown play. He's a beautiful, lithe, athletic mover, isn't he, as a central defender. Never looked too flustered.
Well, I think everybody believes that the more experience he gets, the better he's going to get, and will be a future, international, and have many, many caps by the time that he finishes. I mean, the problem Wes has had in his young part of his career has been he's had sustained so many injuries and has not had a long run in the team.
And here are Liverpool now with their own England crop, including Murphy and Heskey. And Murphy, it was a raking try. It ended up into the chest of Barthez.
Well, that's a great strike from Murphy, because it's not easy to do this. He's coming off that. He plays a 1-2 here with Heskey, and he hits it with the outside of his foot on the up. Not easy to hit at all, but manages to strike it and also get it on target.
Very bright player, Danny Murphy. 10 goals this season, and he's got 9, by the way, in this competition. That's more than just about anybody else out there, I would think. Here's a dangerous ball. Lovely angle ball. Juff and Silvestre back. Silvestre proving he's all right. He has recovered from that knock. Giggs can make nothing of the forward ball. So Gerrard will send one spinning in here, spiralling in towards Michael Owen. Nearly left it for Heskey. United were living just a mite dangerously there. Beckham's on his way forward, cantering into the opposition half in that little timber-toed style of his. Keen to support. Keane is caught. The referee plays advantage. Beckham's ball in. Veron almost caught unawares by Heskey's presence. United still have 5 strong across the edge of the 18-yard area. It's Keane here. It's Roy Keane. And Houpier does the captain's job.
Well, it's great to see Roy Keane getting forward now, because he does it so rarely, but the problem United have, if they let him get forward like this, nobody else is sitting in the middle of the field, and if Liverpool get possession, they will counter-attack and could cause Man United a problem.
Scholes will just drop it back out to Beckham again and ask him to supply one of those telling crosses. Doesn't get past Gerrard's head. Shorter to Veron this time. A clipped ball from Veron. Van Nistelrooy to chase. And to try and confuse Juff. It has to come across from Keane. It does to Scholes. Plenty of red shirts around. Liverpool finding it hard to get out of their half for the moment, and Gary Neville's got to get it in this time. Hammond doesn't mind giving away throw-ins. Ferdinand's up there for it. This will be a routine stop for Dudek from Giggs' head. Ryan Giggs, of course, playing in his hometown, his home city, born in Cardiff.
Yes, I mean, although there was a doubt about him playing, he was desperate to play in this game because he loves playing in the stadium and generally puts on a performance here. And he has played quite well this afternoon, but there's been no real end product for him so far.
I just wonder though if Giggs can last the full 90 minutes, bearing in mind he was doubtful for this game, as was Scholes, as was Brown. You're going to get so many knocks at this stage of the season. There are so many fixtures, aren't there? Murphy here might apply pressure on Ferdinand. Boundless personified. But the games are coming thick and fast. I mean, it's sort of 3 a week right now. Well,
that's right, yeah. And you know, all players virtually are playing with some knock or another at the moment, and you just have to get on with it. If you're successful, it's one of the perils.
They're wrong with the outside of the boot into Keane. United have plenty forward here. The cross wasn't the best, and yet it's a chance for Van Nistelrooy. Puts it over and out. He felt, I think, from his reaction that he was being wrestled. Just a touch by Carragher.
Yeah, I think he felt that when the ball was played in, that Carragher actually had his arms around him, making it very, very difficult for him to turn. Well, Van Nistelrooy is so dangerous in these situations. There you see, just maybe momentarily his hands were there. There you see them. No, doesn't pull him as far as I'm concerned. Maybe Van Nistelrooy on the end thinks, well, maybe I should have had a free kick, but maybe we should have had a corner.
I'm sure he should have had a corner, having seen that. Scholes. United trying to gain some momentum here. And Keane. This is the best game I've seen Keane have for some time. He, by his own admission, plays a different type of role nowadays for Manchester United. He can't get around the pitch like he used to do. He uses the expression headless chicken. He was never that. But it's a more controlled aggression now in Roy Keane's game. United attacking here with Veron. Looks as though they're all ganging up on Liverpool here, biding their time. Eventually Beckham will cross one in. It's low, it's flat, it's stabbed up in the air by Huppier. And smashed 50 yards forward by Gerrard.
Yeah, you mentioned Roy Keane there before. I mean, the worrying thing, as I said before, Roy Keane he's deserted that holding position. At the moment, he's actually right up with the strikers. He's obviously desperate to get this goal back. He's now coming back into a midfield position there. But if he keeps bombing forward, Veron is not the best at playing defensively, and this is what could happen against them.
Well, it was Veron, and he was a lapse there. He tried to play it out to Gary Neville, struck it against the opponent, and it's invited Liverpool onto them. That's with El-Hadj Juff. Blocked by Keane, free kick Liverpool. He played that quite cleverly, did Juff. I'm not sure, I don't think he'd have got anywhere near the ball, but he knocked it past Roy Keane and just ran into him and got the free kick.
Yeah, but Keane again is just not happy with Veron, giving it away in the middle of the field. They had to defend like that just because Veron was careless in the middle of the field, giving a ball away he should never have done.
Yeah, sometimes wants to look a little better maybe than he'd be advised to do. Goes for the flashy pass. Can Liverpool get a second? Really put the cat among the United pigeons. It's Veron this time who cushions a header away. Well, they know what a key player Keane is as well for United to Liverpool. They were surrounding him there.
Well, yes, and for me, I say in the first half, before they conceded the goal, United, he was keeping the ball moving as well as anybody was for United, and really was the hub of everything. But since they've conceded, he started to run around all over the show.
What a ball from Beckham over the top there to Neville. Good cross in, Nistelrooy, and Giggs between them can't quite make it. That was a sumptuous pass from Beckham, and a decent cross in from Gary Neville as well, and that's maybe gone out, has it? No, play continues though, and Beckham will try and get that ball up into the danger area again. Now it will come to the Dutchman. Oh, brilliant turn, and what a save from Dudek as well. Fabulous turn from Van Nistelrooy, slashing strike as well from the Dutchman, and an instinctive save.
Oh, it was a great save there from Dudek, because Van Nistelrooy turns so quickly.
And talking of quickness, here goes Owen up against Ferdinand at the other end of the Millennium Stadium. It's Michael Owen, still Michael Owen. There were 5 white shirts ahead of him. He had the presence of mind to feed Jupp. So that's not got any sting in it whatsoever. Emil Heskey struggling and may come off any moment, to be replaced by Milan Baros, the Czech Republic striker. We've had an hour. It's 1-0 Liverpool. United are coming here with Giggs, and that's going to be beyond the recall of Sylvestre. And here comes Baros. A different player to the one that Liverpool acquired last season from Banik Ostrava. But Heskey's afternoon is over, and the cue is here for the young striker from the Czech Republic, just 21 years of age. A man who could have joined AC Milan or Juventus or Borussia Dortmund, but he chose Liverpool. Had a very difficult indoctrination at the club, but is now part of the first team furniture.
Yes, another foreign player who, I mean, we're just seeing Van Nistelrooy's chance here. I mean, it's a tremendous turn. He turned Gerrard inside out. And we mentioned just briefly before that he is so good in those situations. He's back to goal, there appears to be nowhere he can go, and all of a sudden, in a flash, he's getting a strike on goal.
1-0, Liverpool lead here in Cardiff. With more than an hour played. But United always capable of scoring goals. If it's 1-0 after 90 minutes, don't rule them out. United's first domestic final since the 1999 season, the FA Cup final against Newcastle, but they've set their stall out this year. Ferguson has picked more of his senior players for the matches along the way.
Yeah, certainly they've competed in every tournament they've entered this year. Even the FA Cup they took seriously this year. Unfortunately for them, went out to Arsenal, but certainly put out virtually their strongest side in all games this year.
Yeah, they've beaten Leicester City, Burnley, Chelsea and Blackburn Rovers to reach this final. And Nistelrooy gets a header away, dropped down on the tail end of Scholes. Waiting in the wings, Keane. And then Veron. Keane again looking for that incisive ball in. And a clearing header from Oncho. And Liverpool's route to the final took them via Southampton, Ipswich, Aston Villa and Sheffield United to Cardiff. Van Nistelrooy with a layup. Beckham will know that white shirts will be arriving. One of them Ryan Giggs. Now it's Sylvestre. He lost out in his challenge with Gerrard, and he's one of those striding forward purposefully. It's Baros in possession, Gerrard on the outside, it's Milan Baros, it's Steven Gerrard, it's 2 goals. It's not 2 goals, it's side netting. It looked like it was in for Gerrard.
There was a fantastic save by Barthez, it really was. Baros did so well, holding it up. Just watch Gerrard's move. He made the move to start off with. Now he makes that run behind Baros there. He's in the open, Baros waits, it's a super ball, but Barthez just gets across, moves his feet quickly, makes a great save.
Certainly was. Flashed into the net, the wrong side of the net. Otherwise Stevie G was definitely going to be the hero of the day. Liverpool's corner kick, they lead by a goal to nil. Hoopier, and it's held comfortably by Bartes. And they're just going at one another's throats right now, which makes for a good spectacle. And Keane's come 40-50 yards here. Now it's Scholes asking him to deliver the ball in. That he did. Scrambled away by Liverpool. It's ever more open as a contest.
Well, I think when this game started, this was what we wanted and what we hoped we'd see. But it didn't materialise until about 35 minutes. And then, ever since, they've just gone at each other. And there are big holes in the middle of the field. It allows everybody to run at the back fours.
And such good techniques. Not so good from Silvestre here. Onto the back of Juve. Free kick Liverpool. Yeah, it's a game worthy of a goal or two more. And
well,
Fabio Bartes has prevented Liverpool's second here.
Yes, he has. A great run from Gerrard, and Barros does so well waiting before he delivers it. And certainly Gerrard could see him being a real hero there when he strikes that ball. But as we mentioned before, Bartes is so quick and athletic. He gets across and gets down really well to his left-hand side.
One of the great characters of the game, Fabio Bartes. I know he was particularly affronted last year when he made those mistakes against Arsenal in particular and was depicted as a clown in some of the national papers. Well, Ferdinand might have been depicted as a clown there if Owen had taken it off him. Neville, who gets good distance on his clearing headers. Into Murphy. Effective challenge from Veron. Now the ball through the middle. Van Nistelrooy will take it. Such a good leader of an attack, Van Nistelrooy. Beckham with options here, but only hits it against the back of Risa. So Veron ploughs on, ploughs a lonely furrow. Good running from Juan Veron. And here's the chance of the snapshot and the bit of an equaliser from Scholes, foiled by Dudek's save.
Well, it's a good save from Dudek, but Scholes, you're sure, will be disappointed that he didn't strike that as well as he'd like to. It's a great ball into him.
Here's the corner, and there's the header. Silvestre up for it. Only ever scored twice in United's colours. But Dudek's made a couple of valuable contributions.
Well, when Veron knocks this ball in, Scholes is a good strike, but not as well as he'd like. But it still takes a good save from Dudek. But if he strikes it, as we all know Paul Scholes can do, I don't think even Dudek would have been able to get down to that bottom corner and make the save.
I've seen it a little late from Paul Scholes there. He's got 8 League Cup goals over the years for United. I remember his first, I think it was at Port Vale. United had a habit of going out to lesser sides in those days. Not this season. But they will defend here against Juve. And Barros, his quick feet nearly got him in. It's absorbing right now. Keane looking both ways, right and left, feeds Scholes and then takes again. Beckham the recipient. They work these little triangles involving Neville and Keane and Beckham. And the decision is offside. Yeah, I think he's just cursing himself there, Beckham.
I was just thinking in this second half, because teams have been going at each other, how few offsides there have been in this second half, because the game has got so spread. And it's amazing just thinking about it, and all of a sudden there is one. But no, it really is an open game now.
Everything you'd want. And not what Van Nistelrooy wants, offside. Liverpool's record is amazing in this competition when you consider this is their 9th final and they're on course for their 7th win in 9. That's a terrific record. They really did dominate the competition 20 years ago. But nobody wants to lose it. I mean, Manchester United have already booked their place in the quarter-finals of the Champions League for a record 7th consecutive season. But Gerard Houllier probably would say Liverpool are even hungrier for a win, because they're not going to win the Premiership, they're not going to win the FA Cup, they could win the UEFA Cup. Sylvester. Where will this one land? It comes down to Van Nistelrooy. Sylvester can try again. At his shoulder, Veron. Oh, lovely clipping of the ball. Out for Roy Keane. United have 5 in the Liverpool penalty area. Veron, brilliant from Veron. Can he finish here? He's gone down. There's a big shout for a penalty kick. Didi Hamann and Sami Hyypiä just have quick words with Veron. The officials were not to be fooled.
No, certainly it's a delightful piece of skill by Veron there, and certainly for me, Risa gets a touch on the ball before he makes contact with Veron, and therefore it's not a penalty. He makes a lot worse of it. There you see the touch of the ball from Risa, and then Veron throws himself to the ground. No penalty for me.
No penalty for Mr. Durkin either. Michael Owen has got a cross ball in here to Juff, who's one-on-one with Sylvester. It's El Hadj Juff, and he'll tee it up for Danny Murphy, and it came back off Barros from Murphy. Both sides just living their might dangerously though, which is what we want to see. Scholes, then Giggs. So much movement on the pitch from all the players, constantly trying to find a way through the maze. Sylvester will hoist a cross in here, which of course confusion, and Beckham was arriving behind Hyypiä, who was caught just napping for a moment, but Beckham couldn't get a decent touch on the ball.
Well, I think Hyypiä was expecting Henshaw to deal with that, and therefore was taken totally by surprise when Henshaw actually missed it. You know, you look at Hyypiä's body language, he expects him to head that. He totally missed it, and Hyypiä had nowhere to go. And of course Beckham reacted, but just couldn't react quick enough.
With 20 minutes left in the Worthington Cup final, and it's 1-0 Liverpool. But United are posing a threat here. It'll drop to Paul Scholes. Chance for Ruud van Nistelrooy, and foiled by Dudek once again. Well, the goalkeeper who could do no right a few months ago can do no wrong now, but the save is made easy for him.
Yes, it is. It's not a good finish from Van Nistelrooy. It's a good opportunity. You'll see how disappointed he is. Look, head in his hands. Should have done better here, but it's still an excellent save. Good save, good position, keeps hold of it, body behind the ball, no problems. But Van Nistelrooy knows himself that's a golden opportunity that he should have done better with.
And you know, for one thing, he'll be back again, Will Van Nistelrooy. He'll be there looking out the next chance. A man with 29 goals already this season. But it's Liverpool's turn to come. The all red shirts moving forward in unison. Gerrard, who's got the 1 goal scored on the day so far.
I just wonder how long it'll be before Solskjaer comes into the equation, because you know, we're now 70 minutes. They need a goal, and he can supply those.
There goes Juff. I think you've got wonderful eyesight, Ray, because I think about 100 yards away from us, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is just about getting ready. There you go. How did that area hurt you?
Well, I've never recognised him from that side before.
I'm not going to ask. I can tell you it is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And, well, he's come up with the goods so many times for United over the years. They need a goal now. This will be Barros, and he'll get there. Disappointingly from Liverpool's point of view, the Chapman will run it out. Carlos Queiroz, the assistant to Alex Ferguson, the United coach, just checking with Ole Gunnar. Well, cometh the hour, maybe cometh the man and cometh the goal for United. The Norwegian commentators behind us were very pleased. Man's coming on. And Van Nistelrooy's got a header away. This is Ryan Giggs. And he was in 2 minds there, I think, whether to continue the run or whether to try and play Scholes in. And it ended with the ball going dead.
Well, he had 3 chances, didn't he? He could go himself, he could play Scholes in with the outside of his foot, or Beckham with his hands up on the right-hand side, totally free, and chooses the wrong one totally.
Well, it's a defender who comes off in Wes Brown. It's a striker who comes on simply because Ferguson needs a goal. And this man usually gets him one. Extraordinary record, Solskjaer. 112 goals for the club in 298 appearances, and I reckon half of those have probably been as a substitute.
Well, I thought that Roy Keane would then go into the back four, but what they've done is they've moved Silvestri into central and put Ryan Giggs at left back at this moment in time, so that really is going for it.
Liverpool have the ace card at the moment, thanks to Gerrard's first half strike with the aid of a massive deflection off David Beckham of all people. Here is Solskjaer, first time. An infectious enthusiasm for the game, Solskjaer. Just wants to score goals. Keane, we all know about his enthusiasm. Driven wide here to Gary Neville, seeing a lot of the ball in this half. Useful cross in. It's dealt with by Onshow. It's got above Van Nistelrooy. And that will be a free kick against Veron, in a very handy position for Liverpool, who can slow it down again now. That's what Liverpool want to do.
Yes, that every set play they're having, they're taking as much time as they're possibly allowed to actually take it. But certainly United pushing both full-backs on now, trying to get at Liverpool down the sides, but in doing that, occasionally they're leaving Michael Owen one-on-one with Rio Ferdinand.
They've plenty forward here, and Murphy has managed to get a telling touch on it. Juff will drive it in. Taken by the clean hands of the Frenchman. And bowled out to Beckham. 75 minutes gone, 15 to play unless we have extra time. Van Nistelrooy works enthusiastically to win it, but he's not altogether happy with the officials today, is he, Van Nistelrooy?
It's not the first time that he's not been happy with the officials.
Manchester United came into this match as strong favourites on the back of this recent run of theirs in the Premiership and of course in Europe as well. Liverpool have simply not found their form in recent weeks, and yet bring them into a cup final and Liverpool always seem to perform. And put them up against Manchester United, they'll always perform. Giggs. Oh, it's too close, too telegraphed. Barros has driven the ball up here. Now then, who'll get there first? The answer is Silvestri. Lastly, Ray, when I saw Silvestri earlier this season, he and Brown were probably the best central defensive pairing I've seen for United. They look very, very good together at centre-back.
Well, that's certainly where...
Here comes Beckham in, and Hoopier, sorry to interrupt there. Just momentary danger.
Yes, that's where Silvestri saw himself when he came to United. He was forced to play left back, but really saw himself as a centre back. But has developed into an excellent left back. But it's a lovely option to have when you need somebody to move inside, and you've got somebody of his quality to do it. Then, as I say, it's a great option for Sir Alex.
Beckham trying from the other side of the field now. Oof, it's a poor clearing header, but very sharply back with Steven Gerrard to make sure that Scholes didn't prosper. Liverpool's free kick. Just one or two signs of Manchester United players getting a little agitated now, a touch frustrated. Well,
they will be. I'm sure they can. They'll know that they're getting in the last 15 minutes of the game, and they need a goal badly. And the longer that time goes on, the more desperate, the more frustrated they will get, because they're having quite a bit of possession of the ball. And they've had one or two chances when maybe they should have done better with it, but they haven't, and Liverpool are still in front. And when you're in a game like this, you do only get so many chances in a game.
Manchester United's mood has probably not been improved today by the news that... Oops, I'll just see what happens there. By the news of that result at Highbury. I understand Arsenal have beaten Charlton Athletic in the Premier League. And... United also have a massive date coming up on Wednesday evening at home to Leeds United, so it's a busy old time for them. But they will still believe they can eke out a victory here as Veron gets that ball wide to Neville. It's coming back in, it's cut out very well by Murphy. The referee says it's not a back pass. Gary Neville and 30,000 Manchester United supporters thought it was.
Well, again for me, Paul Durkin right, you know, Danny Murphy's just at full stretch trying to stop the ball getting into the box, and really had no idea he was going to finish back at Dudek.
Beckham. Carragher with the covering. Jamie Carragher, very much one of the unsung heroes at Liverpool. It sometimes happens to local boys, but he's a key and integral figure for them.
He certainly is. He's an excellent defender.
He may have to be here because Neville is going to be probing with the ball into Scholes. If he can turn, well, again the arms are raised. Referee Durkin has a good view of it once more and once again says no penalty, but he does say free kick Liverpool here for Ferdinand's challenge on Owen. Let's have a look at this one.
No, there's no way that Scholes was touched there by Herman, and Herman and Hippie are both having to go at Paul Scholes and say, you know, you're a better player than that, you don't need to try and do that and try and force a penalty. Herman never touched him, there was no way it was a penalty.
Credit Paul Durkin with an excellent decision there, good piece of refereeing. He's had a good game, this Durkin. Only taking the name of Stefan Honshaw. And you just wonder how important that incident just before half-time was when Veron had the great shot. The save was made by Dudek and then Honshaw managed to clip it up onto the top of his own net. It could have gone anywhere.
Well, as it stands at the moment, it will be vitally important, because if Man United had got back at that particular time, then they certainly would have been in upbeat moods in this second half. But as it is, they spent the second half chasing the game and leaving themselves open to counter-attacks, which Liverpool have used very, very well.
Well, 10 minutes remaining. Vladimir Smitsa will be the next substitute introduced into the game, but let's see what United can achieve here. Van Nistelrooy wins a throw-in. Veron's not had one of his better days. Some of his passing today has been a bit off the mark, and he's put his side under pressure once or twice.
Yes, he has. He started poorly, didn't he? His first 3 or 4 balls he virtually played out of play, and he's never really got in touch with his range of the passing we know he can do.
And that's one of his passes again there that's intercepted. Just under 10 minutes left for Sylvester and co to at least try and force this one into extra time. But at the moment, Gerard Houllier and Liverpool are on course for their first title of the season. It was at this end of the ground that Michael Owen scored those 2 famous goals against Arsenal in the FA Cup final. He's had hardly any chances at all today, Owen, just 1 in the first half. That's John O'Shea. And contemplation of another switch by Sir Alex Ferguson. United will continue to drive forward. And Beckham now. He's 3 to aim at. There's the ball in for Scholes. It comes towards Solskjaer. Oh, and straight up in the air by Risa. Van Nistelrooy. Dudek's made another fine save. The angle was acute for Van Nistelrooy, but Dudek's still as alert as ever.
Great, no, that was a great save, because again Van Nistelrooy out of nothing hits the target low to Dudek's left, had no time to react at all, but manages to get a strong enough hand to stop it from going in the net.
They're asking the questions here, United. Veron plays it straight against Herman, then he does it again, and then he gives it away to Gerrard, who will try and find Owen. And where is Bartes? He's in your shot there. He wants to get up front, doesn't he? That's a foul by Juff. I think if this game stays at 1-0 and 5 minutes to go, we will see Bartes in the opposition penalty area.
Well, he's moving further and further forward. Here's that tremendous save from Dudek. I mean, it's really low down to his feet. One of the most difficult places for a goalkeeper to make a save, and he's managed to get down there and put the ball to safety.
Sylvester with the ball cross field. Gary Neville, plenty of time for him. United have 5 in the area. Neville doesn't get it beyond Risa though. And calmly, Danny Murphy and Risa get the ball up over the other half of the field. Barros took it down skillfully and encourages the tackle from Veron and from Keane, which will produce a free kick for Liverpool.
Oh, he's done well there, Barros, because there was only Michael Owen in front of him. There was nowhere to go. They're in the last 10 minutes of the game there. He needed to hold it up and try and slow the game down for Liverpool. And of course Roy Keane then got impetuous, just tapped him around the ankles, and Liverpool now have a situation which is quite a dangerous position.
Yeah, except I don't think we'll send too many people up for it, will they? That's right, he'll probably go out here, although Juff gives chase. Oh, and then does latch onto the ball from Silvestra's attempted clearance. Can Liverpool snatch a second? Well, he's wrestled down. That might have been a booking for Silvestra from a less lenient referee than Mr. Durkin. Well, this is exactly where Liverpool want Manchester United. Hippier is going to lope up. Take your time, Sammy. Can they locate him in there? He's the biggest man. It will be a Danny Murphy free kick for Liverpool inside the closing moments of the game here. Hippier gets the head to the ball. Keane is the one who brings Manchester United out. Solskjaer. Great roar there for Steven Gerrard. Julio will be well pleased with his England midfielder.
Well, he'd be very pleased with all the midfield, but particularly Gerrard and Haman, who have broken up so many Manchester United attacks.
Now 3-on-3. It's Barros. He knows his job is simply to hold the ball up for as long as possible now. Juve comes. Scholes managed to stare him out of it almost. Gary Neville now for United. Time of the essence, time running out. 5 minutes left. Still 1-0 Liverpool lead. Beckham, decent looking cross in. Flicked away off the head of Carragher. Solskjaer's ball, doesn't find Keane. And it was Juve who was back there clearing.
Yes, but again it was Carragher in the first place, who, as I say, has done exceptionally well today defending. He gets criticised for not getting forward, and when he does get forward, his use of the ball sometimes isn't what you'd like. But defensively, he's a rock for Liverpool, particularly this afternoon.
United are bound to come at Liverpool's throats again here. They need a break inside the Liverpool area, and they haven't had one all day. One goal separates these two juggernauts. Oh, and a mistake here, and Haman is on his way. 0-2. Can Michael Owen finish the job for Liverpool? It's Michael Owen against Barthez. It's Liverpool's cup. He's come back to Cardiff and he's conquered again. The whole of Liverpool is going wild. The stadium a sea of red and white, but it's not from any Manchester United supporters. It is Liverpool's Worthington Cup, and their talisman has done it for them again. He destroyed Arsenal here in the FA Cup final nearly 2 years ago, and Michael Owen has driven it into the heart of the Manchester United defence here with a second goal and confirmed Liverpool's triumph.
It's a terrible mistake by Rio Ferdinand, it really is. He's tried to dink the ball past the man, then when he has to win it, he's the last man, doesn't do that. And then Haman does superb, waits for Owen, and Michael Owen doesn't miss those chances. Not now he's back in the form that he's in. Looks up all the time in the world, waits for Fabian Barthez. Barthez stays there, and Owen drives it into the far corner net. But Rio Ferdinand will look back at that afterwards and think he should have done an awful lot better when he was confronted by Haman in the middle of the centre circle.
You do not give chances to Michael Owen like that. The man who equalled Ian Rush's record of 20 goals in Europe during the week scores for the third game running. His 9th goal in this competition. I remember his first 3, it came against Grimsby Town, and there'll be no smile on the face of Sir Alex right now. He scored here against Manchester United in the Community Shield. He scored 2 here against Arsenal, and I reckon that Michael Owen, well, Cardiff belongs to him right now.
He'd probably like to play at the home international games here, I think.
I think he would. Liverpool 2, Manchester United 0, and the first piece of silverware seems destined for the Mersey. Not their day. They won't enjoy the journey home. But Liverpool certainly will, as they prepare to make a substitution of their own. Vladimir Smic have prepared to come out for the closing moments. There's going to be no extra time this year. And this romantic story of Liverpool and Cardiff, their adopted home, just goes on. And, well, it's the substitute Barros who goes off for his fellow Czech Smic to come on. Sub for sub. He's happy, isn't he?
Yes, I think it's just a case of Smythe will just drop off Michael Owen, help out in the middle of the field. So they've got 5 in the middle there for this last 2 or 3 minutes of this game, just to make sure that Man United don't get a sniff of getting back in this game.
3 minutes are to be added, but surely not even Manchester United, the great escapologists, can get out of this one. Owen's onside again here. They don't need to rush anything. Murphy can take a Sunday afternoon stroll and a nap if he wants. He's beyond Neville. Not just once but twice. It's Danny Murphy. Can he go all the way? It's Danny Murphy. It surely is kept out on the line by Ferdinand when Smitzer only had to touch it and it was in the net.
Well, that was an incredible miss. How Smythe did not put that in the net, I do not know, and how Rio actually got back to get a tackle there, I don't know.
That was incredible. Here come United now. Giggs to Scholes, into Van Nistelrooy. Can United cause a flutter here? Van Nistelrooy hammers it against Hancho's body, put his body on the line, the Swiss international. Well, it is amazing, isn't it? In cup finals, you can never underestimate anybody. United coming in as firm favourites, and yet Liverpool have been too good for them.
Well, they set their stall out. They made themselves difficult to beat. First half, they hardly got forward at all. They got a fortuitous lead, and now, as you can see with Danny Murphy here, how on earth Smythe does not stick that in the net to make it 3. But great work from Danny Murphy. He's had an outstanding game. You know, I mentioned about Haman and Gerrard in the middle, winning and breaking up attacks for Liverpool. Danny Murphy's been the inspiration in the middle of the field. He's the man who's created things for Liverpool, and of course the second goal being scored by somebody who's quite adept at finishing things off.
Michael Owen's 19th goal of the season. But you knew when he was on his way that he had the capacity to finish, and he finished in some style, didn't he? He's never going to miss. Giggs for United. Should be dealt with here by Risa. So Manchester United will be left to try and claim the European crown at Old Trafford in May. Maybe the Premiership title, who knows? But at least Liverpool will have some silverware in the cabinet already. And they've got enough surging forward here to make it 3-0 if they get this one right. It's Danny Murphy, it's Michael Owen, it's still Michael Owen, and the block made by Ferdinand. He probably thinks he owed his team that.
Yes, but it's a little bit late for Rio now. The mistake has happened, and you know, Michael Owen has made him pay for it.
Liverpool's next switch will see the Croatian Bishkan come on in place of El Hadjuf, who's going to end up with a winner's medal in his first appearance in a major final in England, and he's happy about that.
Yes, he's played his part. We spoke at the start of the game, would he be prepared to track back? Could he get forward as well as tracking back? And as the games wore on, he's done both. He's created 1 or 2 crossing situations. So Alex Ferguson will be very, very disappointed with the way they've conceded in the second half. They certainly have had opportunities, Manchester United, to win this game. Van Nistelrooy in particular has had 2 or 3 golden opportunities which Dudek has made excellent saves from. But at the end of it, Liverpool deserve to win this game.
Just 30 seconds of stoppage time left. They are happy. They suddenly sensed, I think, in the second half of the game against Auxerre that they were coming back to a little bit of form, and they've continued it here. Whereas Manchester United have never been at their best today. Dudek's made 2 or 3 excellent saves, and what a nice moment for him. His world really collapsed about him after those mistakes against Manchester United earlier in the season. He's had to show great character to come back and be one of the Liverpool stars today, Jerzy Dudek.
Well, he certainly has that, and I think Gerard Houllier will be the first to admit that you look through the team, and the back 4 has defended very, very well under quite a lot of pressure in this second half. Dudek has made the saves he's needed to. Gerard and Haman have won the tackles in the middle of the field. Murphy's created in there, and of course Michael Owen's finished up with a goal.
And this is Giggs, and Well, that really sums the day up, doesn't it? It's amazing. 5 days ago, he was the wizard. He was the one who bewitched the Italian public. There was talk of a move to Inter Milan after his 2 goals against Juventus. And it's all over here. It's Liverpool's cup. They have destroyed Manchester United. Stevie Gerrard with a 30-yard pile driver in the first half, which took a deflection off David Beckham. And Michael Owen with a breakaway takes the plaudits again here from the adoring Liverpool public. He can do no wrong when he comes to Wales. And Michael Owen has steered Liverpool to their 7th victory in the Football League Cup in their 9th appearance. Jerzy Dudek made some super saves in the second half, particularly from Ruud van Nistelrooy. But amazingly, Manchester United have competed in 5 finals and have still won this competition only once.
Yes, well, obviously Liverpool do have quite a hold on this Worthington Cup over the years, under different guises as it may have been. But certainly, you know, their game plan has worked exactly for them. You know, they've never gone out and really had a go at Manchester United throughout the 90 minutes. What they've done is they've sat back, they've soaked up everything that Manchester United could throw at them, and then they've been very clinical in attacking United on the break. And that was what they did 2 years ago when they won those 5 trophies. Very strong defensively in the middle of the field and scored on the break. And that's what they've done here today. They've gone in front, possibly against the run of play, but in the second half they've controlled Manchester United's attacking options and eventually scored that second goal. And Dudek there, he certainly will be a very, very happy man, and quite rightly so.
People always say you only remember winners, and Liverpool will look back on this day as a moment to win another trophy. They won the 5, as you say, Ray, 2 seasons ago. But now the pressure's off in a way, isn't it? You know, nobody says they're going to win the Premier League. They're not going to win the FA Cup, but they might win the UEFA Cup, and that will be regarded as another great achievement for this man, Gerard Houllier.
Well, Gerard Houllier, yes, you know, you say the pressure's off. Really, Liverpool have got to do better than just win the Worthington Cup. That's the standard that's been set for them over the years. They need to be competing in the Champions League. What this has done for Liverpool is released the pressure in terms of they now know they're in European football next year, albeit the UEFA Cup. But now they've really got to push on now, knowing they've got that cushion behind them, to try and get into that top 4. It's a tall order because they are a number of points behind, but they now can have a real go for it. And of course, they've also got the UEFA Cup game, but Celtic will have a big say in that, of what happens there. That will be 2 tremendous games coming up.
I could be wrong, but gauging from some of the reactions down there, it looked to me as though Dudek may well have been named man of the match, because there was Joe Corrigan, an old pal of yours, of course, from down the years. Sammy Lee, well steeped in Liverpool tradition, just going over particularly to Dudek, saying well done, you had a great game, and it's one he's not going to forget.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me if he has been named man of the match, because he's made vital saves at vital times, and that's certainly what we want to, you know, you want your goalkeeper to do, as simple as that. He's been tested a number of times, and he's come up trumps with saves which other goalkeepers might not have made. So he's come through his trough, he's now back at his peak, and he's had a great game today.
Your thoughts for Manchester United, Ray? They've heard today that Arsenal have taken another step towards winning the Premier League title. They've now lost out on this one. It will increase their resolve, I imagine, to end up at Old Trafford in the Champions League in May in the final.
Well, I think Sir Alex will certainly, you know, has instilled into his Manchester United side, you're never beaten until, you know, points mean that you can't actually catch anybody, and they'll push on in the league, because all of a sudden Newcastle are level with them in the league as well. They're both on 55 points now. So United still do need to push on in the league to make sure they stay in the Champions League if they don't win it this year. That's, you know, it's so important for Manchester United to be in the Champions League as well.
The local lads, Carragher and Owen there, it means more to them, you suspect, sometimes than some of the foreign players. And for Jamie Carragher in particular, 6-7 years now in the first team, yeah, he will be loving this.
Well, he will love it, because he has taken a lot of criticism from different areas this year, Jamie. But I thought he was superb defensively today, without a shadow of a doubt. And he's a real character in the Liverpool side and in the dressing room. If you were to speak to any of the Liverpool players, they love him in and around the dressing room. He's always got a joke, he's always got a practical joke. And you need people like that in your dressing room.
Shanks would have loved him as well, wouldn't he? There was Shanks depicted on that banner. And well, for people like Juff in his first season with the club, how wonderful to get your hands on this. It's a fine silver trophy. It's had many winners over the years, 21 different winners, but nobody's won it more than Liverpool. I'll just run through the list for you. 1981, 1982, 1983, 1984, 1995, 2001, and then here at the Millennium Stadium in 2003, Liverpool have taken the Worthington Cup for the 7th time in their history. And they'll feel very, very good about coming to this place. They really will. And they really do seem to have that, I said earlier, Indian sign over Manchester United in recent times, apart from one win this season. Now David Blunkett, the Home Secretary, Chief Guest of Honour, handing out the medals to the officials here. Thought Paul Durkin had an excellent match as the referee.
Well, exactly. I've never been one to be the greatest one to praise referees, but I thought he had an excellent game today, Paul Durkin. He handled the game very, very well. He was on top of little petty tackles that happened. One or two penalty incidents which may or may not have been for me. He got the right decision every single time on that. And in the end, it opened up to be a very, very good game, and the referee can take some credit from that.
They will put brave faces on it, but they cannot hide their disappointment. Manchester United accept losers' medals. Rio Ferdinand, I'm sure, will want to put this one out of the mind and come back and get a winner's medal one day. But today he was a loser, as was Wanver on there. Ryan Giggs, for whom the week started so well in Italy. And Ruud van Nistelrooy, unable to beat Dudek today. Bartos there, who was beaten by that fizzer from Steven Gerrard in the first half. But not a good day for Manchester United and their millions of fans around the world. And Sir Alex Ferguson, bringing up the rear, will accept his medal and hope for better days ahead.
Yes, I'm sure he'll know there will be better days ahead as well. But, you know, his Man United side have had a go at it, certainly. Against a lesser side, would probably have won it with the opportunities they had in the second half. But they came up against a side very, very resolute, and in a goalkeeper who was not going to be beaten today.
Well, Sir Alex Ferguson did say another season without a trophy is unthinkable, but it's something that Manchester United have to contemplate, and they have to try on other fields. Well, it's all red today here in Cardiff, and Liverpool, record breakers in the League Cup over the years. They've always had a penchant for winning this particular trophy. And Gerard Houllier earlier in the week was saying he was going nowhere, having been linked with Monaco and a return possibly to France, but he really does love Liverpool Football Club. And they have instilled that love into all of these players, no matter which countries they come from. Poland in Dudek's case there. And Gerard Houllier, he's had some criticism this season. You wonder why, from those who do not realise what a job he's done. And it is that Gerard Houllier who steps up to the podium first to receive his medal from David Blunkett.
Your appreciation for Liverpool Football Club.
Followed by Dudek, left to reflect on what a strange old game football is. Down 1 minute, up the next.
Strange old job goalkeeping is, let's put it like that, because there are generally more lows and highs for a goalkeeper, but certainly he'll remember this day, certainly for the rest of his playing career.
Emil Heskey there, by the way, what an incredible record he's got. He's won it 4 times now, twice with Leicester City and twice now with Liverpool.
Yes, obviously went off with an injury, but did a good job for the side as usual in terms of using his strength and power to hold it up. And
he's the man of the match.
Well, as I say, for me, he deserves it, because he did have a massive influence on why the Liverpool side finished up being 2-0 winners.
Andy Williamson from the Football League there alongside David Blunkett, and Michael Owen, a winner yet again here. Didi Hamann, what an integral part of the Liverpool machine he's become. And Sami Hyypiä, the captain, he loves coming here as well. He won here with Finland as well. And now Sami Hyypiä will step forward to receive the Worthington Cup.
2003.
in the year 2003. The Worthington Cup with its red ribbons will go into the safekeeping of the captain of Liverpool, Sami Hyypiä. They have done it again. They love this competition. And Liverpool have proved that when it comes to the Worthington Cup, they are simply the best. The streamers of celebration acknowledge another remarkable achievement from this amazing football club. 9 times they've played in the final, 7 times they have been victorious. And as Manchester United troop off to the desolation of their beaten dressing room, Liverpool are left in joyous terms to celebrate with their fans. And as a former Liverpool player, Ray, I'm sure you savour these moments just as much as today's players.
It's certainly, we've only got to look at the way that the players are celebrating there. It does mean so much to them. It's their first trophy of the year, in a year when they've been heavily criticised for some indifferent performances. But here they are, the first domestic trophy of the season. Where's it going? It's going up to Merseyside. And you've only got to look to our left-hand side, and not only what it means to the players, what it means to the fabulous set of fans they've got. Not one of them have left. They're going to savour every single moment of this, and every minute of that drive back up the motorway to the northwest, they're going to savour as well. It's a great day for Liverpool. They've been criticised, but they're back.
Gerard Houllier said that there will be changes again during the summer. Some of the players have not performed as much as well as he would have hoped, but they've performed today all right. And people like Salif Diao down there, Bruno Cheroux, part of the Liverpool setup now, who have played matches. Patrick Berger I can just see down there, who have played in games along the way but didn't make the final lineup. But how fitting it was, I think, today that it was the local lads, the Steven Gerrards and the Michael Owens, who came good with the goals that have sealed Liverpool's triumph here in the Worthington Cup final. They have beaten Manchester United by 2-0. And these pictures of jubilation tell you that in the year 2003, Gerard Houllier and Liverpool have taken the Worthington Cup final.
Yes, there is something about cup finals and Liverpool, as I welcome back in Robbie Slater and Dermot Reeve. Three pieces of silverware, boys, in the last 2 seasons, 2 League Cups and the 1 FA Cup.
Yeah, look, it's a final. It's obviously the lesser of the cups, but you can see there how much the players enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a fantastic atmosphere, isn't it? It's a great stadium, and it's a sellout, and you can see on the faces of the United players, they may have played a B team in the first 2 rounds, but then this has meant a lot to them, and arch rivals Liverpool. So the whole of Manchester, or all United supporters anyway, will be. They won't be going down the pub for a celebration, but this lot will. Yeah,
and it does mean plenty to those Liverpool fans who've, all of Liverpool really, have copped it left, right and centre in recent times about their form.
Look, they've definitely, and they've deserved their victory. Yeah. They were the better side. United had their chances, there is no doubt about that. They come up against Dudek, who had a superb game. And he's only back in there because of the unlucky Kirkland, who broke his leg.
That's right.
I mean, he's always been a great shot stopper, hasn't he, Dudek? And he just had there's a couple of howlers, lost his spot to Kirkland, and if there's one nice little fairy tale to come out of it, is that Dudek's back in, and he's had a great game and picked up the man of the match.
Indeed, so you just saw the shot of Bill Shankly then over the Liverpool fans. And Michael Owen back on the score sheet tonight. Of course, Steven Gerrard got the first one. Owen, the clincher, to make it